First, let's go to Chicago. That's where meteorologist Mike Seidel is checking out the system. How about those winds, Mike? The snow looks like it's blowing sideways here.
Yeah, it is. We're protected. The wind is coming right up the river from Lake Michigan. Winds at the airport's gusting over 35 miles an hour at O'Hare, where it's 30 and snowing. Midway is now down to 32 and about a mile and a quarter visibility. So light snow there. You can see the streets have been treated and nothing is sticking to the streets, but something that's untreated, like here where you can sit down, and it is a wet snow. We've got about 3/4 of an inch, but it's, boy, look at the amount of water in that. Well, that thing is heavy. So this is it's been a very wet snow, but as we go through the later evening hours and overnight, we will see it become more fluffy. And with the winds blowing, gusting over 40 miles an hour, there may be some blowing and drifting outside of town where the suburbs already got a nice mantle of white. Looking for 5+ inches of snow. And again, Chris mentioned that enhanced band coming down Lake Michigan later tonight and even into tomorrow morning. We'll be back on the air at the lakefront, and we may be in that band tomorrow morning. The big change tomorrow will be temperatures in the mid-20s. Some of the coldest weather we've seen so far. Then late next week, or later this week, it is going to be much, much colder. So stand by. And here goes one of the streets and sanitation trucks, and not dropping salt at this point. Let's throw it back to Atlanta, where we have continuing tornado warnings.
Yeah, Mike, there's 2 tornado warnings now.
Also watching the snow fall as part of a winter storm Frida, and it's bringing more snow to the Midwest, including Chicago, where we find meteorologist Mike Seidel with what appears to be a little bit more snow on the ground. Hello, Mike.
Yes, Chris, a little bit of snow here in town. It's basically on the untreated surfaces. The roadways have been salted over and over. They're fine. Temperature at Midway 32, O'Hare down to 25. The suburbs have had more snow by far. I just saw Carroll Stream, Illinois, out west of town has had 3.1 inches. Way up in McHenry County, that's on the Wisconsin line, Greenwood has had 4.7 inches of snow. So there are some higher totals north and west, primarily because it's been colder, and it's also because of the banding. Take a look at the radar. A lot of dry air has worked in to this part of the Midwest in Illinois, and you can see where it's snowing and where it's barely snowing. And right now it's barely snowing here. It's light snow. And once again, we've got the urban heat island effect kicking in. Also, the wind off the lake has kept temperatures a little bit more moderate here. The lake water temperatures in the low 40s. With that said, we've got almost an inch of snow, and it's nice and packable. So you can make a snowball. Overnight, as temperatures continue to come down, whatever snow falls will be more powdery in town. It's already like that. It's very fluffy north and west of town. And then tomorrow morning, we're seeing on the high resolution forecast a band coming down Lake Michigan. An enhanced band, and that will set up in Wisconsin, come down into Lake and Cook counties, and eventually into northwest Indiana, and that could give us another 1 to 2 inches of snow. It's going to be much colder tomorrow, temperatures in the mid-20s. Now, the major impact today at the airports, cancellations. Just over 1,100 flights canceled between O'Hare and Midway. Tomorrow's better, looking better, about 460 at O'Hare and about 40 at Midway. So combined, about 500 flights canceled tomorrow. That's in and out of both airports. Check with your air carrier and see how things are going, because flights that didn't get in this evening are not going to be there for the first flight out in the morning. You know how that goes. A sunny, cold day tomorrow for the Bears and Giants over at Soldier Field. By the end of the week here, though, Chris, temperatures will struggle to get to 10 degrees. So after a very mild fall, and December being the 3rd warmest on record, we're finally seeing signs at least of some brief Arctic weather here in Chicagoland. Chris?
All right, meteorologist Mike Seidel, thank you so much for your reports.
And there to cover this snowstorm in Chicago is our very own Mike Seidel. And Mike, looks like the roads are in pretty good shape there for now, but certainly going to be getting a lot colder there in the Windy City.
It will, especially in town. I've noted how the temperatures have fallen outside of the Loop area, away from the warm lake, relatively warm lake. O'Hare's down around 25 degrees. Meanwhile, Midway's been hovering right around freezing. So that makes a big difference. Now, the other difference is the Chicago streets and sanitation folks have thrown a lot of salt on these roadways. And they got plenty of salt because they didn't have their first measurable snow until last Tuesday, latest on record. So the roads are in pretty good shape here in town. They have done some scraping on the sidewalk and thrown some salt down. Some of the slush may freeze up overnight if it's not treated. And out in the suburbs, we've had snowfall totals of 3 to over 4.5 inches way out in McHenry County. So out there where it's been colder and where it has snowed more and it's stuck, we've got more of an issue with plowing and shoveling. Here in town, it's not a significant issue at this point. But you can see on the radar, there's a lot of dry air that's worked into this system. We're not getting the consistent, solid, moderate, or even heavy snow that we've seen south and west of here. Some portions of southeastern Iowa picked up as much as 7 inches of snow from the winter storm. So here, we're looking at maybe another inch or 2 overnight, just depending where you are with this banding and the dry air. But then what we're looking at, and we've seen this now all day long, the high-resolution radar forecast is predicting a lake effect band, an enhanced band, almost oriented north-south, coming down through southeast Wisconsin into Cook and Lake counties by tomorrow morning, and then sliding east into northwest Indiana. So that could give us another inch or 2, not out of the question, because by tomorrow morning, temperatures are going to be down around 20 in town. It's already 18 out in Rockford. So the suburbs are going to be in the teens tomorrow morning, and wind chills will be down in the single numbers, some spots down around 0. So some very cold air coming in. Not the coldest we'll see, obviously, because it's only the 1st of January, but it's been so mild. December, the 3rd warmest on record in Chicago. Later this week, Carl, we'll see temperatures that may not get to 10 for a high by Friday.
Feeling a lot more like January there in Chicagoland. Michael, thank you so much. And let's take a look at